Y'all see him in the streets struggling, young, dumb, and thuggin', give a fuck about nothing. Stuck at rock bottom, trying to come up on something. Pumping from sundown to sun.
What's up, guys? For Just here, welcome back to my channel. We're back with the reaction to House of the Dragon. It's the penultimate episode for Season 1, Episode 9, The Green Council. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of it or not, but Episode 9s were sort of a big deal in Game of Thrones, so I'm super excited heading into this one, as I should be, because this show, man, I tell you, it just keeps on getting better and better. But The Green Council, based off the comments that I get here on my channel, I feel like the Greens get no support at all. I'm not sure if I should be saying this out loud or not, but I think you guys kind of already know. I'm a bit of an Alicent fan, even though I do like characters from both sides. Daemon is probably my favorite character in this show, so I'm super excited to see how this whole war plays out, regardless of what side I may or may not actually be on. But yeah, the only other thing I did want to bring up before I actually jump into the episode was last episode. I couldn't quite make out Viserys' final words there as he took his final breaths, but you guys actually let me know what he did say, and apparently it was improvised as well, as he said, "my love." Also, another scene or another moment of the episode where his crown actually fell off. Daemon put it up and really supported his brother truly. You guys were really on me about that. Let me know that no, there were no ulterior motives. He was just there in that moment, just in support of his brother, as he should be. So yeah, that actually warms the heart a little bit more knowing that as well. But yeah, apparently Viserys actually said "my love," speaking to his wife as he passed. So that was great to see. Now knowing that, it's going to make that scene hit even harder for me when I do go back and watch that and see him take his final breaths. But that's all I really had to say before I jump right in and check out this episode. If you guys look for my full reactions to the show, link to my Patreon is down in the description below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, now's a very good time to click that button down below. Smash the like button while you're there. With that said, let's jump right in. Let's check it out. Let's go. Man, we've seen a few kings come and go now between the two shows, but this one hits different. Really grew fond of Viserys. I know he had his haters out there. Not everybody thought he was fit to be the king, and he probably wasn't, but in the end, he was just a good guy. Just pinched her bottom. She's first to know.
Stay here. Tell no one.
Tell no one. She's right to action and right to Otto.
Who knows?
My handmaiden tell you? He told me he wished for Aegon to be king.
No, Alicent. Wrong Aegon. The man was dying.
Truth. Asked with his own lips.
He did say that.
And now he's dead.
He was delirious, though.
What is it that could not have waited an hour? Was Dawn invaded?
Something much bigger.
The king is dead.
Where's your joke now?
With his last breath, he impressed upon the Queen his final wish that his son, Aegon, should succeed him as Lord of the Seven Kingdoms.
This is what they're going with, eh? Does not seem sus to anybody else, too? Like, oh yeah, he didn't tell anybody but me. He wants my son to be king.
Now, with the full assurance of his blessing on our long-laid plans.
Yes, there is much to be done, as we've previously discussed. Now,
The treasury is well in hand.
They're moving quick. This guy's like, what the fuck?
ravens be sent to our allies, Riverrun and Highgarden.
Am I to understand that members of the small council have been planning to install my son without me?
My queen, there was no need to sully you with darkling schemes.
I will not have this. To hear that you have plotted to
Yeah.
replace the king.
Well, this guy's gonna die now.
What an impostor!
His firstborn son is hardly an imposter.
I don't know why Alicent gets so much hate. Look at her. She's still like, that's not right.
Most of them now dead.
You heard the
We
Lord.
just made this decision right now, but you guys already made it for us?
And I will not believe that he said this, alone with only the boy's mother as a witness.
Thank you.
Caesar!
Grandpa knows what's up.
I cannot. I will have no part.
He killed him. Here we go. Here's where it starts.
I will not suffer insults to her grace the queen.
There was no insult to me, Sacris. Put aside your blade.
The door remains shut until we finish our business.
All of them unmarried.
Alicent's already losing her mind.
The former heir cannot, of course, be allowed to remain free and draw support to her claim.
She will never bend the knee. Nor will Daemon, which you know.
Oh, Daemon's gonna go nuts.
You plan to kill them.
The king wouldn't wish for any
The king did
unsavory...
not wish for the murder of his daughter. He loved her. I will not have you deny this.
Yes.
One more word and I'll have you removed from this chamber and sent to the wall.
Alright, get control, Allison.
What do you suggest, Your Grace?
Time is of the essence. Sir Eric. Where's the prince?
Believe he may have left the keep secretly. Gone into the city.
Great.
Find him.
Gotta get him back before the news gets out.
Bring him to me and me alone, Sir Eric.
Otto is making moves out here, man. Now that Viserys is gone, it's like it's my time to shine. Holy shit.
Aegon must be found and he must be brought to me. The very fate of the Seven Kingdoms depends on it.
Even though Kristen's a dick now,
You feel for me as your queen.
Oh, I'm not fair.
I do like their bond and his loyalty to her.
That would not be my desire, Aemond.
You guys let me know that the actor that plays Aemon is in another show too that I haven't seen. It's one of the two shows, I can't remember. It was either The Last Kingdom or Vikings. I think it was the first one though. I haven't seen either one. Let me know if that's something you guys would ever want to see me react to in the comments down below.
The prince is not here.
Has he been here?
His tastes are known to be less discriminating.
Meaning what?
I wish you luck, good sir.
What was that supposed to mean?
To your friend, how you've grown.
It's like, no.
You once swore your banners to Rhaenyra. You must now pledge them to the future king.
Some are kneeling.
I must confer first with my house on this matter.
You'll not leave this room without declaring your intention.
When you're locked in the room with them, I'll bend the knee, I swear. As soon as I leave, I'll be like, what the fuck did I just do?
He be like, shut the fuck up. I be quiet. But when he leave, I be talking again.
Keeps its sworn oath to the princess.
Very well.
Oh no. Alright, come on. Your death is over here. Yeah, there you go.
Long live the king.
They have them grow the nails and file the teeth. Makes them more formidable. Prince
Grab
Aegon's
your little
many
savages.
Do you see now what he is? You've not seen everything. Aegon, one of many I'd wager. I know what it is to toil for what others are freely given.
We are a decent man with no taste for depravity. His secrets are his own. He's welcome to them. I'm next in line to the throne.
That's what I was saying.
I'm looking for me. I intend to be found.
Fuck Aegon. Let's just get rid of him now.
A moment of your time, Lords.
You'll find no buyers for your wares here.
It's not what she's
I
selling.
can take you to Prince Aegon. Rather, I'm sent by one who knows where he is.
Keep going back to this guy.
He was fleeing from the gate.
He was so close.
A warning for the princess, I'd wager.
I have no love for the princess. And where were you going then with such urgency? Let the king's justice take him.
Oh shit. He was so close too.
You've spent many hours with the queen of late.
There's no reason those hours cannot in the end benefit you.
Game recognizes game. Real recognizes real. Two players in the game right there. Yo, how big was his head? Crown looks massive.
I will do you the considerable courtesy of assuming there is a good reason for the outrage of my treatment here this morning.
She's been locked in a room all day.
Serious regrets for the lack of ceremony. And you are usurping the throne. It was my husband's dying wish.
She knew right away.
Believe it or no, it is of no consequence.
She's been locked in a room all day, had no details, and she knew right away.
I came here to ask your support. It is your husband who grasped so heedlessly for the throne. And even he has abandoned you. Gone these 6 long years.
Pretty sure he's still out there too.
Returning grievously, if not mortally wounded. Leaving the Lady of Driftmark to chart her course alone. The word of my house is not fickle. If it's Driftmark you want, you shall have it. For you and your granddaughters to pass on as you see fit.
You are wiser than I believed you to be.
She snuck up on us. Definitely on me.
True queen counts the cost to her people.
And yet you toil still in service to men.
She's doing her pitch now, throwing it right back at her.
Imagine yourself on the Iron Throne.
I leave you with your thoughts.
She has many.
Ring the bell when you have an answer.
The hunt for Aegon continues. Kristen and his little hat.
My friend, you yourself are the mysterious white worm, I take it.
My condolences on the passing of your king.
She knows.
Where's the prince?
It's like, fucking tell me.
I want an end to the savage use of children in Flea Bottom.
I look into it.
It's a fair request.
You have my word.
It's gonna happen to all those savage kids though, with long nails and grinded teeth.
And you install your grandson on the throne. Remember, it was me who put him there. I could have killed him as easily as a wasp on fruit.
I will remember.
Okay, she's really emerging as a player too now.
Listen.
Who's hiding in there?
I want my mother. Your grandfather, the Hand, will meet outside the city walls.
No, Aegon's the worst. Oh shit!
I do regret this, Frank.
He's running. That dude's just watching.
I was hoping you disappeared. Is our father truly dead? Yes. And they're going to make you king. Where's your brother, huh?
He was just right there. Yeah, there he goes.
I have no wish to rule, no taste for duty. I'm not suited.
You get no argument from me. Let me go, or we'll find a ship and sail away, never to be found.
Looks like he's considering that. He's gotta make him disappear. We can't have Aegon as king.
Well played.
None of this is a game.
And yet you treat it as one.
It's like what I said, man.
Eye is a pouch of silver.
She's evolved.
Whatever our differences, our hearts remain as one.
Oh, our hearts were never one. I see that now. Rather, I've been a piece that you moved about the board.
If that is true, then I made you Queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
That is also true.
Would you have desired it otherwise?
How could I know?
No king has ever lived that hasn't had to forfeit the lives of a few to protect the many, though I understand your squeamishness.
Reluctance to murder is not a weakness.
Just hasn't fully come around to it yet.
We'll proceed now as I see fit. We will send terms to Rhaenyra on Dragonstone. My husband would have desired this mercy be shown to his daughter.
Your husband? Or you, his daughter's childhood companion?
Both.
Kristen Cole will be named Lord Commander of the King's Guard. My son will be anointed tomorrow at dawn.
Kristen is really moving up here. God damn.
My son will take the crown of his namesake, the Conqueror, and carry Blackfire, his sword. Let the people remember the ancient strength of House Targaryen.
Allison is running the show right now. Can't wait to see the Allison hate in the comments.
Your Grace.
The hour is late, Lord Larys.
I found out something you should know.
Okay, here we go.
Have you asked yourself, I wonder, how it is that your father found Aegon first?
What was that?
Oh, my sweet summer child.
There is a web of spies at work in the Red Keep. Along its threads travels news of all our doing.
What's up with the
more
fee
than
being
once
put
has
up?
proved advantageous to those willing to feed the weaver.
Wait, does he have like a foot fetish or something? Because his one isn't fully functioning?
One of the little spiders is your lady in waiting.
Talia.
There are more like her, even I do not know their number.
Look at them examining it too.
When the queen dies, the bees fly without purpose.
He's all about the murder, though.
Your expertise.
If you wish it, it will be done.
He's like, oh yes, look at that foot, functioning properly, not broken. Oh! Is this their thing? How did he present this to the queen? Like, yo, I'm gonna drop you some info from time to time. Just let me wank one out to your ankle. Oh my god.
With me, Princess. I cannot let this treachery stand.
Is this real? Yeah, we saw that coming.
You must make for the riverfront and find a ship before they know you've gone.
I don't think he's gonna make it out there. Everybody's running too.
In an hour you will be king.
And my father never wanted this.
That's not true.
He had 20 years to name the heir and never did.
At least he knows. And he's dumb as fuck. How has she not figured it out?
He could have, but he never did. Because he didn't like me.
No one does.
Yes. With his final breath, he whispered to me that you should take his place for the throne.
They focused on that at the end of the last episode too. Right before Viserys Pass.
Your grandfather, the Hand, will try to impress on you that Rhaenyra should be put to the sword. You must reject. You're your father's daughter.
You love me.
You're innocent.
Grand entrance. Look how proud he is. Wow. I don't even like this fuck, but still. This is so badass. We haven't even seen Rhaenyra or Daemon and their reaction.
May the warrior give him courage. May the smith lend strength to his sword and shield. May the crown
Alright, she's slipping out.
a shining lamp and light his way to wisdom.
New crown.
The crown of the conqueror, passed down through generations.
Old crown.
Let the seven bear witness. Aegon Targaryen is the true heir to the Iron Throne.
This just isn't right. This is not what Viserys wanted. It's not what I wanted. It's what Otto wanted.
All hail his grace, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm!
Aegon the King!
Kind of seems to be numb to it all. The people are on board though. They're like, hey, he's got all limbs. Who cares how many people he's raped? Not liking this probably means I'm not siding with the Greens. Oh! The fuck? I thought it was just a random explosion. I almost forgot what show I was watching for a minute there. I forgot that it had dragons in it. Oh, there's a dragon in the title. Oh shit! I almost thought Rhaenyra had showed up and caught wind of it all, put a stop to it. Yo! Face to face with Aegon and Alicent. Stand in front of her son. The cars! Brush your teeth. So freaking hype. Got pretty small there. they end the episode right there. I say it every goddamn time because they always choose to end the episode where they choose to end the episode. They know they're gonna have me saying that's where they end it. They got me hyped at the end there. My God. Going into that final scene, if they just would have ended things right there and not had the dragon burst through and just cause massive chaos and destruction, my feelings towards this episode would have been a lot different. Let's just say that, because it was definitely a slower one for the most part. This might have been one of the slower episodes of the entire season. I don't think it was my favorite of the season, that's for sure. For an episode 9, it might have been a little bit disappointing, but obviously there's a lot of things in place, a lot of moving parts right now. There's a lot of things that need to happen since Viserys has passed before I guess we can really proceed to some more of the good stuff, really is what I should be saying. But alright guys, that was season 1, the penultimate episode of season 1, episode 9, the Green Council, and we definitely got a strong emphasis, strong focus on the Greens. Alicent and the search for Aegon was pretty much a majority of the episode. We didn't really see, I was thinking, yeah, we haven't seen Rhaenyra or Daemon. We didn't see them at all this episode, so they don't even know the news of Viserys' passing just yet. I'm sure they're going to find out right away next episode with the Queen Who Never Was, probably going to tell them, going to let them know what the hell is going on over in King's Landing, what's actually up over here, because everything has gone to shit with the passing of Viserys. Man, it kind of pisses me off too, seeing his council at the start of the episode. They're like, oh yeah, don't worry, we got you, Queen. We already had this in place anyway. We've been planning this for a while. So she's like, wait, what? I just made this decision right now. He just told me on his deathbed, right before he took his final breath, his final wish to actually name Aegon as heir. And they're like, yeah, it doesn't really matter what you decided right now, right here, what he said on his deathbed, because this is what we're going to do anyway. So, man, the disrespect, did not like that at all. Then that one scene where Kristen grabbed the guy, smashed his head down, instant death right there. And then they concluded the council meeting from there as well, which was, whew. There was some crazy shit going down this episode. Just for the most part, there wasn't too much action. It was a lot of speaking. The one moment before I talk about really focus the end of the episode that I got to discuss a little bit here, because it definitely, I was like, wait, what the fuck am I watching? My face was probably all scrunched up because I was disgusted while it was happening. If anybody has any foot fetishes out there, though, they probably love this episode. This was probably their favorite episode of the season, of the series, of either series of Game of Thrones or this, because, man, Larys down there, I was not aware of this fascination, this focus, this whatever you want to call it that he has for feet. We saw him like dragging his foot. Obviously, he's been that way for a long time. Even go back, I think my first time seeing him this season, obviously he's been around, but I think the first time where I truly noticed him was when Rhaenyra was still a kid, and then they went somewhere. I think it was going to Driftmark. I could be wrong about that, but we saw Larys sit with the women while everybody else was going out hunting. I think it was that episode where they were looking for the white deer, but that was the first time I really noticed him and who he is and what he's all about. Well, actually, I didn't really know who he's about until I think the following episode, but I still did not know about this at all. Man, how did he even come to this deal with Alicent to kind of let him wank one out while she just pulls down her socks? At first, she didn't even do that. She's like, all right, give me some info. And then he looked at her foot. He's like, you need to show me some skin there. Let me see the full ankle. And then she takes down the sock, takes it off. And then, man, he just, I don't even want to describe anymore that scene. I feel like my reaction's going to be blocked on YouTube. But yeah, all I can say is he went at it. She was not looking at him, but I guess she's okay with it. That's the deal that they have. Man, this show is too much sometimes. Between the incest, the taboo, everything. Like, all right, here's your uncle, you're going to marry your niece. All that stuff in regards to the throne and the heir and the bloodlines being passed on and the lineage. Like, that's one thing, but this foot fetish, jerking off to Alicent's foot, she has a very pretty foot, don't get me wrong, but yeah, that just does not get my mojo going. I don't know about you guys. I don't even want to ask you guys. I was going to say, let me know in the comments down below. I don't even want to know that. All I need to know, and that was too much right there, is that Larys is in that sort of thing. No hate if you're into that sort of thing. Just, that's not something I expected to see from this episode. That was one of the biggest takeaways from this episode as well. But yeah, Man, what a scene. What an episode. What did I just watch? All right, now that I discussed that, now that I can move past that because that was too much for me. The end of the episode, the Queen Never Was, she was snuck out, taken away while everything was going down, while Aegon was being sworn in. Super intense scene. Even though I don't like Aegon, I'm not very fond of his character, at least since they made this recent change of the actor and he raped that one chick last episode, his handmaid or whatever. Yeah, he's just not a good guy. At first, when he was younger, the younger version of him, I'm like, all right, Aegon's a character. He's kind of like the family fuck up. I kind of want to see where his character goes just for sheer entertainment. I wasn't very fond of him by any means, but I'm like, all right, this should be entertaining. And then once he got a little bit older, I'm like, all right, this isn't entertaining. Like, he needs to be killed off right now. I kind of wanted him to be killed off this episode also because with him out of the way, then it would go right to Aemon. I feel like he's a better fit for the throne. So, yeah, hopefully this throne, if Viserys is being cut by the throne, Aegon better be cut as well if he actually does get a chance to sit down on it because the Queen Who Never Was bursting through with the dragon. I did not expect that one bit. For a minute there, I was like, all right, there's an explosion. I didn't even recognize it was a dragon. And I kind of forgot the show that I was watching too because it was a quieter episode. Maybe that's one of the reasons why it was and why that final scene was so effective, at least for me, when she burst out, the dragon burst out through the floor. Incredible scene. That was awesome. I was not expecting that one bit. I actually initially thought that that was some sort of an explosion, that somebody was putting a stop to things. And then when I saw the dragon, I didn't realize that it was the Queen Who Never Was. When she ran away, like mid swearing in of Aegon, I thought she was just basically going to escape, like heading home. That was not the case at all. She was going right for her dragon, bursting through, fucking up everything, causing chaos, and man, that dragon went off too. That looked great. Whew. And then it came face to face with Alicent and Aegon. I know you guys, nobody likes Alicent. In this episode, if you didn't like her before this episode, or if you disliked her before this episode, you're going to dislike her even more because there was a strong focus. And I think some of the reasons why people don't like her, she went above and beyond with those reasons this episode. They really focused on those things and she went even further for those things. So I think people are really not going to like Alicent even more after this episode. But the one thing I got to give her credit for, I don't know if you guys will at all, but when the dragon there at the very end was basically going face to face with Aegon, she stepped in front of her son, in front of the king, not only protecting the king, protecting her son. That's fucking brave as fuck, because I thought for a second there, the dragon was just gonna breathe out the fire. I'm pretty sure I said like Dracarys, like I almost wanted it in that moment, even though Alicent was at the forefront of it all. And I definitely don't want to see her die. I'm sure she's gonna get it eventually. It's only a matter of time. We'll see. I don't know the story. I'm sure if I go back to Game of Thrones, rewatching for a second time, there's a lot of things that I'm gonna pick up because now I can actually put faces to the names for, I know they told like some of the stories before, like Dance of the Dragons, with Princess Shireen and all that in Game of Thrones, but I don't know, some of it just kind of went over my head because I didn't realize I would ever be going back to it. I didn't realize that this show, before even watching it or while I was watching Game of Thrones, that I'd be watching this show later on and those words that I was hearing at the time were going to mean so much. So I'm sure whenever I do go back to Game of Thrones and I rewatch that, it's definitely going to hit on another whole nother level. But now I definitely have faces to the names, man, I don't know how the story goes, so I definitely got to go back and rewatch Game of Thrones eventually. Maybe between the two seasons, I'll do that on my own personal viewing to kind of get ready and get more hyped up for season 2, because I feel like season 2 of House of Dragon, it's pretty far off. It's going to be a while before it gets here. And we only have one episode left. We only have one episode left, guys, the season finale. So we didn't see Rhaenyra and them at all this episode, and Daemon. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a strong focus of them, or maybe only on them. That would kind of suck, though, if this episode focused so much on the Greens. Next episode, we get Rhaenyra and Daemon, and then we don't even see them actually go to head. They basically build up season 2, where they're like, by the end of the finale next week, they're like, all right, we must go to war. Fade to black. That will kind of piss me off, but at the same time, season 2, when it does get here, will be super hyped because it'll be nothing but war and chaos and bloodshed and people dying. I'm pretty much on board for that, but at the same time, it's going to be such a long wait. They got to give me something for the finale to kind of get me even more hype for the wait, or at least not make the wait seem as long or as bad. But like I was saying, I don't know the story, who exactly is going to go, aside from everybody obviously is going to die, but who's going to last, like how the battles actually going to take place, who's going to be there for the battles. So as of right now, like I would have been surprised if they would have killed off Alicent this very episode. I know the crowd would have went wild. People would have been ecstatic. They would have been loving this episode. This episode probably would have been a 10 for most people if it wasn't already, if they would have killed off Alicent. But for myself, I definitely like Alicent. I definitely thought it was a brave, cool moment for her too, where she actually stepped up in front of the dragon, not only protecting the king, but protecting her son as well. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I love Alicent though, so that's why. But I really wish we would have seen Rhaenyra this episode and Daemon, even if it was for one scene. Obviously, the Queen Never Was going to go back and share the news now, but I really wish that we would have saw their reaction. Obviously, we're going to have to wait for the finale to actually see it all go down, because the next episode is actually titled The Black Queen. Man, I can't wait for it. I really wish that they would have released these 2 episodes at the same time. The one thing I was a little bit disappointed by for this episode, though, is just I was kind of expecting like a, I don't know, a historical, legendary type of episode. It didn't really hit for me that hard. It didn't really stick the landing. I loved the ending of the episode, and maybe because it was such a slow build for the majority of the episode, that scene was like the payoff for that. But I don't know, man. I was expecting a little bit more going in. Maybe I should have hyped myself up so much knowing the Game of Thrones episode 9s, but that's all right. I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. It just definitely wasn't my favorite of the episode. When I feel like the last few episodes has been, that was the best episode of the season. Definitely my favorite. No, this was the best episode. The next one. I know I've said this like 4 or 5 times, but this was my favorite episode of the season. I can't really say that this time around, which there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have to say that every single time. Probably gives everybody else a break, and you guys are probably sick of me saying that every episode. But for the most part, I think you guys will agree with me as well that pretty much the show has been getting better and better. So yeah, this one, I don't know, kind of took a little bit of a step back. I'm still super hyped for what's to come. It's just that some of the momentum that they had going, where it was like constant going up, we slowed down just a little bit. I'm sure the next episode will be great though. They'll finish off the conclusion to the season. Something crazy's got to happen, right, to really get us hyped for the second season, aside from just letting us know that there's going to be a war between the Greens and the Blacks. So, yeah, at the very end there, too, right before the Queen Who Never Was burst through the floor with the dragon, I'm pretty sure I was siding more to the Blacks. So I was like, you know what? As much as I like Alicent, I love Alicent, the fact that Aegon is being sworn in, I didn't actually think that we would ever see the day where he would actually become the new king. That kind of put a stop to me siding with the Greens. So right before the Queen Never Was burst through the floor, I'm like, you know what? I'm not with the Greens anymore. Then she burst through the floor, puts a stop to the whole ceremony. I'm like, thank God I said that, because if I didn't say that before, that moment right there definitely would have put a stop to me putting my flag down. Right when I was about to side with them, then Aegon was sworn in. I was like, I don't know about that. Then the Queen Who Never Was with the dragon burst through the floor. I'm like, all right, you won me over. So yeah, I definitely don't want to see Aegon as king. And it really sucks too, the whole mistaking thing with Viserys' final words. Obviously, we know what he was talking about. We've all seen Game of Thrones. We know how it's supposed to play out. He was delirious though. He didn't really know who he was talking to in the moment. It really sucks that Alicent being there and being confused by what he was actually saying is really saying everything that we're seeing now into place. But that's all it takes, really. Like, I can't really blame her. She heard what she heard. It's just that what she heard was so wrong from what it actually was, what he was actually saying, and who he was actually supposed to be saying that to. So it really sucks that this is now what we get, Aegon as king. The ceremony was cool. I definitely liked the ending of the ceremony more than the start of it, but yeah, I definitely don't want to see Aegon as king for too much longer, because he shouldn't be king in the first place. Yes, he is male, and he is the actual blood of the king, the first son of the king, but I'm just not a fan of Aegon. I'd much rather see it go to, if they would have killed off Aegon this episode, and then Aemon would have stepped up into the role of king, they would have given it to him. You know what? I would have been fully on with the Greens, but because that's not the case, and we have to kind of suffer through Aegon's reign, at least for the moment. I don't know how long he's going to be around for. I'm more siding with the Blacks. There you go. At least for now. If Aegon gets taken out and somehow Aemon steps into that role, I will go right back to the Greens. But at least for now, this might make some people happy. I'm going with the Blacks because they got to put a stop to this. The Queen Never Was. I'm so glad that she was not on board with it. She knew what was up right away too, because she was locked in a room. As soon as Alicent went to her, she's like, all right, you're playing the game. Those weren't actually Viserys' final words and his final wish, I know exactly what you're doing. Like, she's been around long enough to know a player when she sees one, you know? So, yeah. Hopefully she can get back in time, let Rhaenyra know what's up. Definitely want to see Rhaenyra and Daemon's reaction to the death and to what Alicent is supposed to be doing. But weren't we supposed to see Rhaenyra come back as well? Because last episode we saw her tell Alicent, she's like, I'm going to put the kids to bed, bring them home, put them to bed, and then I will be back by myself. We can hang out, we'll shoot the shit, we'll have a few drinks, get white girl wasted, and then yeah, we'll just chill for the night. And she never came back. So is she actually be still arriving back, not knowing the news, and possibly get locked up? That could be a possible scenario. Or is the Queen never was going to get to her in time, let her know what's up before that actually happens? Because if she just arrives at King's Landing all blind to it, I feel like news has got to get out like before she actually gets back. If she does come back not knowing, she's gonna get locked up right away. I wouldn't be surprised if fucking Otto tries to kill her off right then and there, because he definitely does not want her in the picture, because she has supporters as well. She was Viserys' choice as the rightful heir to the throne. Clearly, it's not Otto's and the Green's choice. So if she does show up, I wouldn't be surprised if he just tries to take her out. But we've also seen Alicent this very episode where she's like, no, we're not fucking doing that. I'm running the show. Aegon's going to be king. We're going to do what I say. With Aegon as king, she kind of does continue to get to do what she says as well. So yeah, there's so many moving parts right now, guys. I'm loving this show. This wasn't my favorite episode of the season, but regardless, I'm still hyped for the season finale. Only one more episode to go, guys. Man, how long are we going to have to wait for season 2? I'm not going to think about that just yet, because like I said, one more episode. Hopefully it is an extended episode also, because I feel like this one was a little bit shorter, or at least it went by quicker. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. As always, definitely let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys can like, subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. Till next time, I am out. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Well, I didn't smoke enough for you, didn't drink enough for you, wasn't full enough for you, wasn't good enough for you, damn. You play me like a yo-yo and shit. Well, I'm not the one to be yo-yo, and when you put that shit on me, then I watch you leave, let you